Hello, this is the Captain Paxo, welcoming you back to some more Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. And this time I'm using just the regular Turian soldier. And I've been having some fun. I won't say success with this character because I'm still trying to figure out a decent build with it. But at the moment I've got him set up for Marksman and just being able to obliterate things when I put on Marksman. Problem with that is that basically focuses me into just using one ability. You won't see me use proxy mine in this gameplay at all, and that is something that I'm trying to work on with my gameplay with this character, but it's something that's got me thinking maybe I should try a build that's kind of in the opposite direction, where I use concussive shot and proxy mine and completely ignore Marksman. But as you can just see, this is a Revenant level 2, and with Adrenaline, or sorry, Marksman, completely different ability, I'm able to obliterate these enemies from across the map, because it increases my accuracy, increases my fire rate, and increases my damage and headshot damage, and I can mow things down with hip fire, with a Revenant. It's ridiculous. Absolutely amazing. It absolutely struggles with ammo problems though, so I'm going to be running around the map trying to gather ammo so I can start shooting things again, and that's why I've got a backup weapon. I've got the Locust, the SMG, and that's a Scion. I need to GTFO, but as you can see, I'm doing some pretty decent damage. If I could hit it in the head, I'd be doing better damage, but he doesn't want anything to do with it. I need to be focusing those captains though, because as much as the Scion is the big threat right now, I can take out those captains very quickly, and on gold they will be doing some serious damage. As this guy is trapped in a corner with some Abominations, so I refuse to shoot them, because if you shoot Abominations when they're directly next to someone, well, they're just going to explode and hurt your teammate. Like, that's one of the big, most dickish things to do, is to see that someone has, like, an Abomination grappled to them, and then you shoot it off of them, and it explodes and deals damage, takes off their shields, and sometimes, if you're not so lucky, it will just kill your teammate as I get cross-mapped by a Scion. Thank you, Scion. I need to get into cover. This is the biggest problem with these Turians, is they have no evasion. You cannot evade with them. You cannot even sidestep with them, which makes no sense when you have the Quarians, Solarians, and the Geth, who can all do the little hop, the little sidestep, but the Turians can't. I can understand why they can't roll, but come on. Let them sidestep. But back to what I was saying about the Abominations. When Abominations get possessed, and you kill them, they go off like a freaking nuke, so you need to make sure that your teammates are nowhere near them. Now, if you get a headshot on them, it prevents them from exploding. And one of the interesting things is when you get grappled by an Abomination and you throw them on the floor, you stamp on their head. Headshot, so they don't explode. At least that's with the normal Abominations. I'm not too sure about the Possessed. The Possessed seem to be a hell of a lot weirder. So here I'm going for just the regular collector dude, so that he doesn't execute our teammate, and also because he could be a bit of a more persistent threat. That guy just missiled a possessed Abomination. Nice one, as he was going for the Scion. I'm dead here. I got a grenade on me, and I'm got a bunch of angles, and I think I'm just going to res here. Yeah, but this isn't a particularly good spot, so I'm probably just going to go down again as I try to run away, and yeah, I fail. That sucks. And a very quick execution, because this is gold. Enemies execute you very quickly. So now it's just up to my teammates to get these last two devices disabled. I put myself in a really shitty position there. That is completely my fault. As I was going for the revive, my teammate was in a bad spot and I was trying to get him out of it. So it is what it is. As we've got, I believe, 2 N7 shadows. It might just be the one at the moment, but I'm pretty sure we end up with 2. As this Praetorian's getting real close to this guy. Oof, that would have been scary. But we got objective done, so now it's just getting rid of the enemies, which shouldn't be too hard when you've got, you know, a character that can do that. Ooh, careful of that possessed Abomination. Oh, I remember this. Why would you do that? Why? He was so close to that possessed abomination. He's like, I know, let's kill it. I mean, it'll set it off like a nuke, but 5 feet's far enough, right? Nope. Oh dear, you need to get away from those possessed abominations. They are destructive. But now we're back on our feet. We're still in a bit of a shitty spot, so I'm going to try and get some high ground as I imagine there's some enemies round this corner. And there are. Activate the adrenaline, and there's a possessed scion, so I need to GTFO from that. Where did he come from, I wonder? Not that it matters, because now he's dead. There's a lot of dudes here. I'm going to try and take out this... There we go. Got rid of the collector before I retreat, because... Yeah, a lot of damage there, and I don't have any evasion, so it's very difficult for me to stay out of danger. If I put myself in a bad spot, I'm going to be taking a significant amount of damage, and there's not really much I can do. So positioning on this character is incredibly important. Also taking cover. If you're in hard cover, which is basically, like, you just hit the cover button, there you go, you're in hard cover now, you're a lot more protected than you are if you weren't. You know? Like, it's like, you are in cover. You can't take damage from certain angles now. Whereas if you're just kind of hiding behind the corner, using soft cover, like I am against this possessed scion, you can still get hit if you're not careful. So being in hard cover is a lot safe. Well, it depends on the situation, I suppose. But being in cover does increase your accuracy and your stability, so with this build, with a revenant and the Marksman, it's a pretty good idea to slot yourself in some cover and cross-map some fools with a pretty powerful weapon. Again, it is only level 2, so I'm not entirely sure if it would be worth, like, what am I trying to say here? I have the Faiston level 7 at this point and a Matok level 9, so I'm not entirely sure if it would be worth using them over the Revenant, because as much as the Revenant is super heavy, I feel like because it is the level that it is, the other weapons could compete with it quite significantly, especially the Matok, because the Matok deals some pretty incredible damage. It's a very underrated weapon. I used it recently, and I was doing far more damage than I thought I would do with the good old Matok. As I'm just picking off some regular dudes before I head back and try and deal some damage to this scion. One thing I have noticed with the Revenant is the bullets tend to go as far out of the reticle as possible, so they don't like being in the center. You know, with some weapons, the bullet spread is quite consistent. Like, they'll stay within the center of the reticle. And whilst the bullets definitely do stay within the reticule itself, they try and go on the outside of it as far as possible, if that makes any sense. Like, they like to congregate on the rim of the reticule as opposed to being more centralized. So, yeah. Marksman is pretty important, as this dude is just gonna fucking nuke everything with these rockets just to get rid of these targets. Even though that last target was just a captain, nah, fucking rocket, why not? And we do manage to get 3 kill streaks, and it was completing the, I believe this is wave 10, no, this is wave 6 objective. So it's not, like, the worst thing in the world, but it's not something I would entirely agree with. Especially that missile. One thing that you're going to notice in these videos is I will be criticizing people's usage of certain items. Like, if someone goes down and immediately uses a Mediocre, I'm gonna be like, what? They were in a perfectly safe spot, but they just rage gelled because they went down and they don't like it. But okay, why? And people just spamming rockets like it's nobody's business. Thing is, though, is I'm not entirely sure, but I think there might be a glitch in the game where you can get, like, infinite Medigel. I'm pretty sure there's a glitch in the game that allowed you to get infinite rockets. It might have been patched out a long time ago, but I remember hearing something about, like, being able to get infinite rockets. And the other day, I was playing in Silver just to level up some characters, and I came across a dude who, I mean, he was using some pretty powerful abilities, you know. He was getting a lot of points, he had a really good setup, but he would run head first into a bunch of enemies and die very, very quickly, but he would insta-rage gel every single time. And I could have sworn I counted 6 gels, which I think that is the maximum you can get, even with all the upgrades. 6 is the highest. Could have sworn I counted 6, and he just kept getting up again and again and again. So maybe there's something going on with an infinite gel glitch. I don't know. Not that it's going to be patched out or anything, but it'd be nice to know at the very least, as I'm going to get a little bit aggressive on these enemies, the Scion on the Collector Captain, just to try and dish out some damage. And then there's another Rage Gel. God damn. Why waste the gels? They're really powerful. Something that I've noticed going from way back in the day with 360 and now here with PC, people are so much more liberal with their gels and or just their equipment in general. You know, they're like, I got shit tons of it. I don't give a shit. I'll use all of it in one wave. Why not, right? Whereas people on 360 were a hell of a lot more conservative with it. Because if you ran out of gels super early on, and you got to like wave 10 and your team was getting absolutely hammered, you would need those gels later on. You know, you'd have to save them for later. But I don't know, maybe that's because this is a different crowd now that I'm playing on PC. Maybe because it's a different crowd altogether, because I've been playing with a lot of newish players. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of people that have a very liberal use of their equipment. Take out that Scion, and now we've got to deal with some Praetorians. I'm going to try and reposition here to try and get a bit of a better angle on all of this shiz. The Praetorian's getting pretty aggressive, but we can put down some good old fire there. Get with the reload cancelling. Because that is one of the advantages of not having an evade on the Turians, is that if you want to reload cancel, all you have to do is press the roll key, because you won't roll, so it'll just straight up cancel the reload animation. You've been seeing it throughout this gameplay, but I'll point it out next time I do it. And I've completely run out of ammo in my primary, and I'm going to go get some more, but this Scion's saying, nah, I'm not really interested in that. So I give him a little bit of a juke, and he lets us have some ammo. So I'm going to swap weapons to the Revenant, probably do a reload cancel. Yep, although I pop in cover for that one. The concept of the reload cancel is that you cancel the animation as soon as the magazine refills in the UI. So as soon as the UI fills, you hit the shift key to get in cover, or you get out of cover. I'm going to wait for these lasers to come out, so I'm going to go for the full reload. But you saw earlier, you know, I slammed the bottom of the gun, and then I just held it back up, whereas the full reload is hit the bottom and then hit the side, as you saw just there. And I'm going to get rid of this captain before I go for the revive, because it would be a bad idea to try and go for the revive, because I would have ended up dead as well. Always kill the thing that is on top of your downed ally before you res them, because it will just cause more problems if you don't. Now, where's this last Scion? I had a feeling it was going to be the last enemy, because it got very, very quiet. Let's see if I do the cancel. No. Oh, yeah, I did. So you see, I slammed the bottom of the magazine, or the bottom of the gun, and then I just hit the shift key, and because the Turian doesn't have an evade, it just cancels the animation and lets me get back to firing as soon as possible, which is nice. Not quite as effective when you're in cover, though, because you'd have to step out of cover, as I do there, to cover our flanks. I had a feeling there were going to be some Abominations, because that seems seemed to have been a reoccurring trend, is we would hold this room and take out some guys from afar, and then some abominations would show up. And I figured there was probably going to be something showing up here sooner or later, as I try and juke that giant Seeker Swarm, and I don't get it. So I take some damage, my shields refuse to recharge, and my powers get reset. I have to go through a pretty lengthy recharge before I can use them again. One thing I haven't mentioned so far is that with this setup, because I'm using, Marksman, it's a setup that's very focused on using weaponry, but because you can't refresh Marksman like you can with something like Biotic Focus, you have to wait for the duration to end before your cooldowns begin. I have to use a setup that's kind of light. It's light enough for me to have a decent enough reload so I can keep a good upkeep of Marksman. So I've got a bit of a conflict of interest, you know. I'm wanting to load up on the heaviest weapons possible so that I can just, you know, be the best weapons expert in the game. But at the same time, I can't go too heavy, or else I sacrifice that recharge speed, and I won't be able to keep my adrenaline going. Not adrenaline, Marksman. God damn it, they're very, very similar abilities. So forgive me for mixing them up. And again, downside of not being able to evade. If it were up to me, I would prefer having an evade. Like, even if it means I have to go through the full reload every single time, I would prefer having an evade, because it comes in so handy when you're fighting things like Scions and Ravagers and Praetorians and all of the nasty shit in the game, you know? But alas, that is not the Turian soldier. Not the standard Turian soldier, anyway. The specialist Turian soldier, however, he's a bit different. And I'd really like to get him, because I don't think I ever got him back on 360. Like 8 jetpacks on him, right? Or little thruster packs. As we're going to pick up this... Oh, there we go. Tried to do a fancy reload cancel as I pick it up. I'm going to swap to the locust here, because when you fire the revenant, it slows your movement. And I really didn't want that with the package, since your movement is already slowed and you can't sprint without dropping it. And I still haven't mastered the object hop with the sprint. So I'm just going to pull out a locust and do some work with that. With a mixture of that and... not adrenaline. I keep wanting to say adrenaline. God damn it. Adrenaline's younger brother. Marksman. Or older, depending on your perspective, I suppose. Stay the fuck away from that. God damn. It as dangerous as they are, it is very satisfying to watch those possessed abominations go off. And I'm blocking all of the shots here. That's something that you never really want to do, is block all the shots. That was unfortunate. He just turned around straight into a dying abomination. There's not really much you could do with that, but I was able to revive him very quickly. And we almost had that Praetorian, but he got some armor back right as he got possessed, which really sucks. And that dude just uses a gel, which confused the shit out of me, but I would have gone down either way. So I get revived and decide to GTFO. Because I do not want a Praetorian up my ass. Those things are pretty vicious. I mean, their melee isn't too strong, but they are another enemy that can grab. And any enemy that can grab is something you want to stay as far away from as possible. God damn, especially the fucking phantoms. God, fucking phantoms, piece of shit. And there's no ammo in that crate, so I'm going to have to go run off and get some more ammo refilled, because it was a new wave. But I'm probably going to run out of ammo during this wave, as I'm going to try and get some kills. Oh, that's a lot of enemies. I'm backing myself into a corner. This is a bad situation. Get myself in cover as this thing starts shooting its lasers. And then after the third one, I'm going to run away, I believe. Or I'm going to try and contest this. Oh, fair. Contest it and run away at the same time, and you can see my movement speed just gets so slowed when I fire the revenant. And there's another Praetorian in my face, so I hit the marksman, and they're both on me now. I've pissed them both off. That's bad. Oh boy, one of them still got some of its barriers left. That's not so good. Get in cover. Oh, it only did one. That always confuses the shit out of me, when it only does the one laser row. But always thankful, because it means I don't have to stay in cover so badly. And I'm going to duke it down the little ladder down there, because if I just run off to extraction, then we would have two Praetorians on extraction, which is not something we really want to deal with. I'm going to try and block the line of sight of these scions, the possessed scions, because I really don't want to get shot in the face, because I don't have a way of being able to deal with it all that well. And just a bunch of grenades get dropped on me. And an abomination. This is fun, but I'm far enough away from it so that it doesn't detonate me, or doesn't explode in my face. Praetorian crossed the way, so I decided to run up here, get some ammo back, and start laying some fire down on this scion, because it's almost dead. If we can get rid of that, just like that, then we have a lot more freedom to move around. Just lost my shields, and there we are. God. We did get the full extraction. That guy went down right at the last second, but we did get the full extraction, so feeling pretty good about that. Oh dear. But again, if you're wondering about my build, or what the stuff that I was using, here it is. Again, I was level 19 in the gameplay, not level 20, but again, the only thing that is different was that I didn't have proxy mine fully upgraded, but then I didn't really use proxy mine in the gameplay, so that doesn't really matter too much. But in the future, I'm going to try and incorporate proxy mine into my gameplay a bit more, because it does have that ability to debuff bosses. So I think if I can hit them with the proxy mine, activate the Marksman, and then obliterate bosses, hopefully that'd be pretty cool. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.